Will it be repeat or will it be revenge? This is the 25 under finals for the National Developmental Sports League 2025 basketball series between the Marinerong Pilipino San Beda University and the St. Clair College of Caloocan Saints. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joel Parcon alongside my partner Kyle Sanchez, bringing you this ball game here at the Met Park Sports Center. Kyle, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. We had just finished an intense ball game between the Lyceum Junior Pirates and the EAC Brigadiers for the 19 and under division, and now we are finishing our second conference with a 25 and under division, a rematch from last season's championship.
And we are taking a look right now at the St. Clair Saints. They were ranked number 2 in Group B, but they find themselves here once again to compete for this championship trophy against the team that beat them in the first conference. They were led by Moses Mandiria throughout the eliminations and semifinals. He averaged 17 points, 16 rebounds, and 4.5 blocks.
And he will be soon taking over the role of foreign student athlete for Babacar Endong, who is playing some of his final games wearing a St. Clair jersey, as he has already, I believe, played his last season in the NAASCU, now just finishing off some off-season tournaments for Coach Gino Manansala and the rest of the Saints.
And meanwhile, on the other side, we've got the San Beda University Red Lions, who stormed through the eliminations, not losing once, and they are led by none other than Daniel Marcelo, their fiery point guard, averaging 15.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, shooting 2.3 three-pointers per game, and he's not their only weapon.
Definitely always a balanced effort on both offense and defense for the San Beda Red Lions. This season, Daniel Marcelo has led the way. As you mentioned, the Filipino-Canadian transferee is now donning the red and white, and so far he has been making more of a name for himself in these off-season tournaments.
And just when you thought we were done, we're not yet done. Let's turn you over to Andrea. Andrea with some additional insights.
Tama ka nga, Joel. Hindi pa nga tayo tapos. And this 25 under finals is bound to be more intense and exciting as both of these teams acquires that heart of a champion. For the San Beda, Marinero, the 2 overtimes during the semis proved that they showed resilience, experience, and teamwork. And Coach Andre expects that same factor today against St. Clair. They know St. Clair is more prepared this time and they are ready for the challenge. Meanwhile, talking about St. Clair's preparation, during the semis nga, we saw Coach Gino Manansala staying after their game, watch and scout San Beda, and that speaks volume on how ready the Saints are in this finals battle. See about that as I turn you over to Gio, our venue announcer.
Sports Complex here in Pasay City. This is the battle for glory. Do or die finals of the Ndsl Basketball Series Second Conference. Now it's time to meet the protagonists. First, for your defending champions, the San Beda Red Lions. Starting players, number 4, Kyle Hapora, Zane Hopena, 17, Kevin Peregrina, 18, MJ Villalobos, 20, Diego Torres, 22, J.E. Lopez, 44, Lawrence Batumbacal, 45, Kai Efron, 77, Al-J. Alioso, and the starters for San Beda Red Lions, at guard number 6, Daniel Marcelo. Also at guard number 29, Sai Mina. At forward number 23, Dominic Sarikuma. Also at forward number 36, Lawrence Hawkins. And starting center number 35, Rondell Pedroso. The San Beda Red Lions is joined with their head coaches. Head coach is Andre Santos, assisted by Alex Angeles, Jerry De La Rosa, Tati Gio, Ponchi Conde, and Justy Briones, Benji Pero. Ladies and gentlemen, the San Beda Red Lions. And now let us meet the players for the St. Clair Saints. Number 1, Luis Reyes. Number 3, Glenn Gonzalo. Number 4, Richmond Montejo. Number 6, Mo Montiria. Number 8, John Salazar. 13, Charles Burgos. 16, Soy Escobedo. 18, JP Lim. 22, Aljan Loyola. 23, Drake Acosta. 24, Stephen Hantinico. 25, Angelo Ibanez. 27, Sean Ponto. 31, Leonard Decibel. 57, Babakar and Pong. 75, Ian Duampas. And number 0, Justin Bautista. The St. Clair Saints is joined with our head coach, Dino Manansala, and assistant coaches, Derek Bailen, Nico Berbino, and Jimmy Manansala. Ladies and gentlemen, your St. Clair Saints. Both teams, please proceed on the center court for the sportsmanship handshake.
First 5, iwan na sa gitna.
And the starting units for both teams, you've got Daniel Marcelo, Dom Sarigumba, Zay Mina, Randale Medroso, and Lawrence Hawkins for the Red Lions. Meanwhile, for the Saints, you've got Endong, Bautista, Burgos, Montejo, and team captain Rick Acosta. This is the 25 under division championship game for the NDSL Basketball Series 2025. Hawkins and Endong will determine who gets first possession, that is, and it will go to the blue shirts. Montejo calling for the shirt play. And a foul called on Lawrence Hawkins right off the bat. He will have his hands full going up against not just Endong, but later on even Mo Mandiria.
That's right, and that is an early foul only in the first possession, and the bigs of San Beda really have to take care of their fouls as they don't have a deep front court with Hawkins and Efron and Torres. Also Peregrina there tasked to guard the FSAs of St. Clair.
As Montejo gets that layup for the first points of this ball game. Daniel Marcelo, he has opened up these games quick for the Red Lions, shooting from the outside just like that. On cue for Daniel Marcelo.
And what we like about Daniel Marcelo, he's never met a shot that he doesn't like. As soon as he sees the rim, he lets it fly, and that's the type of confidence that he'll be needing as he continues his collegiate career with the Red Lions.
As Justin Bautista goes baseline, kicks it out. Missing was Drake Acosta.
A good box out there coming from Lawrence Hawkins that allowed Mina to get that rebound.
Here's Dom Sarigumba. Layup is off, but ball bounces to Daniel Marcelo. Zay Mina, he was the player of the game of last conference's finals. Third possession for the Red Lions, still nothing going. Sarigumba saving the ball. Mina goes inside, dumps it off to Hawkins, lost it on the way up, almost went in for him.
A lot of chances there for the Red Lions, just unable to knock it down, and sometimes just the mere presence of Babakar and Dong in that paint will force you to adjust that shot.
Precisely, as Babakar and Dong averages 3.5 blocks. And most of the time, he doesn't even need to block the ball.
And that's the intimidation factor that he brings for his team, as the Red Lions have been called with 2 early fouls here.
as there's a mandatory substitution. Daniel Marcelo, blood on right underneath his eye.
Oh yes, a cut underneath his right eye as Kyle Hamora checks in to replace him this early into the game. A very different playing style between Hamora and Marcelo.
Hamora a little bit more of a facilitator. 6 seconds on the shot clock for the Saints. Stolen by Medroso. Here's Hamora, kicks it out. Mina attacks, and that ball goes out of bounds. I think that pass was intended for Sarigumba on the right corner.
And that's why you don't jump if you're not sure what to do with the ball. That time Mina getting caught in no man's land underneath the paint.
Escobedo has checked in for the Saints. Being chased by two white shirts. Here's Burgos. He was the player of the game of their semifinals win. Bautista. The shot is off. Rebound going to Sarigumba. Sarigumba likes going downhill, but he has to give it up. Here's Hamora. Pick and roll with Hawkins. They swing it around. Sarigumba for three. Yes, sir!
Good ball movement there by the Red Lions. Sarigumba, much more known at the moment for his athleticism, but showing us so far that he can hit the outside shot as well.
And it is Hamora harassing Montejo. Gives it up to Burgos. Bautista down to Ndong. Loses his footing. Going up is stripped. And ball will stay with the Saints with 4 seconds on their shot clock. Oh, I'm sorry. It will go back to the Red Lions, but
I think there will be a review as
Coach Ginino
Sarigumba
went
went
challenge.
That's right, because Sarigumba went in to help Hawkins on the interior, defending Babacar Endong, as when Sarigumba poked the ball free. Initially, it looked as if the ball hit Endong on its way out, but from this angle, I'm sure we can see it looked, well, the swipe by Sarigumba was clean, but it looked as if Endong was still able to hold on to the ball a little bit. But ultimately, it left his fingertips, so the ball might go back to the Red Lions. But of course, our officials, I think, now have come up with a conclusion, and the initial call sticks.
So the challenge was unsuccessful.
So good help defense there coming from Sarigumba, blindsiding Babacar Endong, who had the good positioning against Lawrence Hawkins.
And it was also fortunate that Endong lost his footing a bit heading into that, as Sarigumba once again heading downhill. Mina hindi makaporma sa tres. Hamora getting a screen from Medroso. Hamora D-cells. The shot is up. No good. Rebound going to Escobedo. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Red Lions up by 4, and that's the second field goal. Oh, foul will be called on Hawkins.
I believe so. That would be his second foul, if ever the foul is indeed called on Lawrence Hawkins, which I think it will be. And this could be a big development down the line for the Red Lions.
Let's take another look at what happened there. First, that layup for Rich Montejo, but in the ensuing play, Ndong looked as if he didn't really mind what was happening, but Hawkins pushing off, called for the foul.
So Kevin Peregrina checking into this game for Lawrence Hawkins, together with Rat Medroso manning the paint.
And the Red Lions forced to go into a zone as that is a 3 for the Saints. Sarigumba challenging the defense of Ndong. To no avail. Bautista. They swing it around. Ndong asking for it. He's fronted by Medroso. Here's Montejo. Screen from Ndong. He goes up for 3. No. Rebound. Contested by Burgos and Sarigumba comes out with it. Peregrina. They get it back out. Sarigumba, 13 seconds on the clock. He will try another 3. No good this time. Ndong. And that will be an offensive foul on Babacar.
Well, good job there by Kyle Hamora trying to poke the ball free from Babacar. Ndong gets hit on the chin in the process, but sacrificing his body to give the possession back for his team as Alje Alioso checks into this game for Dom Sarigumba. So it will be an undersized backcourt right now with Alioso and Hamora both on the floor.
And we saw on that replay, there was just that bit of extension from Babacar and Ndong warranting that call from our referees. 3 is on the way, no good. Rebound goes to Ndong. Montejo calling the A play. They get it down to Babacar. He's up against Torres, and foul will be on the floor. Oh, traveling.
So I guess that's good defense for Inigo Torres, trying to wall up against Babacar and Ndong. Not an easy thing to do.
Here's Alje Alioso. Gets it right back from Peregrina. Hamora wanted to get it to Vailoses, but ball is tipped out of bounds by Escobedo.
Only 6 seconds left on the shot clock of the Red Lions as JB Lim will check into the game for the first time.
Change of the guards there. Rich Montejo going to the bench. Hamora gets it on the inbound. Vailoses. He can get hot from the outside, and they run out of clock as Vailoses apologizes to the bench. And that is something that Babacar Ndong does on the switch off of the screen. He will hedge and go for the ball. He gets a lot of steals that way.
That's right, that's his trademark.
As Escobedo goes straight to the basket and will get the foul. So he will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
So the Saints doing a good job in the first quarter of attacking the basket here.
It's now a 4-point lead for the Saints, 10-6. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Vailoses. Jumper is blocked by Babacar and Ndong. Bautista, he will stop. No good on the 3. Hamora, they swing it to the corner. Alioso. That's off the left iron. JB Lim looking for options. Burgos all the way to the basket for the layup. No good. Hamora picking up speed. Gets it inside. Peregrina extra pass is picked off by JB Lim.
And that's the intimidation factor that we were talking about earlier with Babacar and Ndong. Peregrina was just underneath the basket but still decided to pass it off.
From the corner, Bautista. No. Rebound going to Alioso. Vailoses, he will pull the trigger from the corner. Bounces out. Peregrina gets the rebound against Babacar and Ndong.
The Red Lions have gone cold from the field here. They're still at 6 points. We're almost done with the first quarter.
It was 6-2 at one point in favor of the Red Lions, but it's been an 8-0 run by the Saints. The outside shooting of the Red Lions not working so far. Meanwhile, inside, the Saints have been getting their points. And that forces a timeout called by the Red Lions. They're now down by 6, 12 to 6. We'll be back.
Talk in the pregame about Mo Mandiria stepping into Babacar Endong's role once he graduates. And Babacar's well aware of it. That's why even this early, he's been teaching Mo everything he knows. I even saw them together during warm-ups, constantly talking. Babacar told me Mo's still young and with a lot to learn, but his advice is simple. Just do your job for the team and keep that winning mentality St. Clair is known for. As Babacar wraps up his journey with St. Clair, he wants to end it right. And that starts with making sure his role and his alma mater are in good hands with Mo. Gentlemen.
And thank you for that report, Andrea Veloso. Of course, Babacar Endong leaving the St. Clair Saints in good hands with Mo Mandiria.
Oh, definitely. We've seen how Mandiria plays, and he will have no problem manning the paint once Babacar Endong departs from the Saints program.
And making sure again, that is one thing that he will impart on Mo Mandiria, the intimidation factor. But Torres there just able to get that shot off.
And good idea by Alge Aljoso. That's what you need to do as a point guard. Attract the defense and dishing it off at the last moment. But he knows full well that Babacar Endong wants to go for those blocks.
Precisely. Drick Acosta open from 3. Rattles out. But J.E. Lopez couldn't hang on to the ball, and it will go back to the Saints. As a timeout is called on the floor. It's a 4-point lead for the Saints with 1.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. We'll be back. As we take a look at some of the crowd here, these I believe are supporters of San Beda. And so if you're nearby, you can always drop by here at the Met Park Sports Center. It's located at the Met Park Culture District here in Pasay, right across that huge statue heading into the Mall of Asia.
One of the newer gyms here we have in Metro Manila.
And aside from basketball, they do have some badminton or pickleball courts. If you want to drop by here before maybe heading over to they have a mall here also in the cultural district of Met Park. Or if you want to go to the Mall of Asia, it's also nearby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Federal Land for making this gym and putting a lot of commercial areas nearby wherein sports enthusiasts or anyone who has an active lifestyle can visit and come here to exercise.
Yeah, they do accept reservations here as Clint Manzano missing on 2 free throws, keeping that lead at 4. Burgos will check back in for Manzano. Coach Ginino not liking the fact that he missed those 2 free throws. Here's Lopez, met by 2 blue shirts. Alioso. Over to Marcelo. At the corner, Lopez. Back to Efron. He's fouled. Good give and go there. 2-man game between Lopez and Kai Efron.
Good job by Kai Efron, rolling hard to the basket after setting that screen. Nowadays, these bigs and some of the wing players who give screens just opt to pop out to the perimeter. But that time, Efron freeing himself up. And if you give a good screen, chances are you're the one who's going to be open, because the guy coming off the screen is going to force the defense to commit. And good read there coming from J.E. Lopez.
1 out of 2 from Efron, but offensive rebound by Lopez. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the shot.
And the Red Lions have to be careful now in the penalty.
JB Lim against Marcelo. Marcelo loses his footing. Good extra pass underneath Manzano. Given a second chance by Coach Manansala. At the corner, Lopez attacking baseline. Goes up, is blocked by Escobedo. And the ball will go back to St. Clair as Mo Mandiria replaces Babacar Andong. Let's take another look at what happened there. JB Lim finding Clint Manzano underneath.
And it's a 5-point lead now for the Saints.
Lim up against Alioso. They want to add on to this lead. Acosta has an advantage against Marcelo. Mandiria is fouled and gets the basket. And I don't think that it was on purpose that he was staring at Peregrina. It's just that Peregrina was much lower than him and he was nodding down.
That's right. That just so happened to be where Peregrina was standing. But Mandiria, the quality of play has not dipped whatsoever. That Babacar Andong has sat on the bench with Mandiria, now seeing some action. And last shot time now for the Red Lions.
They face an 8-point deficit. After going up 6-2, they have only scored 3 to the 15 of St. Clair. As JB Lim is called for a foul. Good foul to give up. They're only at 3.
That's right. Still another foul to give for the Saints. So the Red Lions have to be aware of that. If the Saints try to go for a foul, maybe you could try to attempt a shot and get to the free throw line.
Daniel Marcelo goes up with it, and he's off. As we end the first quarter with St. Clair up 17-9. It's an 8-point lead. We'll be back for the second quarter. And the St. Clair Saints fell behind early, but stormed back. And they're now up by 8, 17-9 as we begin the second quarter. Lim, Escobedo, Manzano, Acosta, and Mandiria will start the second for them. Meanwhile, for the Red Lions, it will be Marcelo, Hawkins, Lopez, Efron, and Hamora. Joel Parcon and Kyle Sanchez on the call with you here for this 25 under finals match. And we also, of course, have Andrea Veloso on the sidelines. We'll hear from her again later. Hamora bringing down the ball for the Red Lions. They get it over to the corner. Marcelo, elbow jumper, but lost it on the way up. Here's Efron kicking it out. Lopez attacking the defense. Step back, jumper, no. Rebound, and it will go to St. Clair.
Lawrence Hawkins now back into the game after getting 2 early fouls in the first quarter, as the Red Lions have few big men to match up with the foreign student athletes at St. Clair.
And it's not as if his job got any easier now that it's Moses Mandiria. As Lim, good pass to Mandiria, and the basket is in.
Luckily for Hawkins, he avoided that third foul there.
As Marcelo misses on the bank jumper. They get the offensive rebound though. Hamora back to Marcelo. He pulls up from 3. In and out. Rebound. Hawkins comes out with it. Hamora, the floater. No. Finally, JB Lim says, let's grab this ball.
The Red Lions still unable to crack double figures here already in the second quarter.
And that will be a problem if they cannot find offense. Daniel Marcelo has not gotten his game going. MJ Vailoses also. They are the main points of attack of this Red Lions squad.
And for Coach Andre Santos, you have to ask, if Daniel Marcelo's shot isn't falling, who else is going to step up for the Red Lions? Of course, he is the first option on offense, but someone else has to help in the scoring department.
Rick Acosta getting a screen from Mandiria. Pulls up for the jumper. No. Rebound going to Vailoses. Vailoses looking down court, but opts to take it himself. He is blocked by Mandiria. That pass was tipped. Hamora. And it will be an offensive foul, the third on Lawrence Hawkins.
And that's going to hurt for Sambeta, as Lawrence Hawkins will have no choice but to sit back on the bench. And it looks like the Red Lions are going to go with an even smaller lineup.
Let's take another look at what happened.
That could be a 50-50 call, and of course our officials deciding to call the offensive foul on Lawrence Hawkins. Now Lawrence Batong Bakal checking into the game for Daniel Marcelo.
And we've also got Inigo Torres to match up with Mo Mandiria. Mandiria kicks it out to Escobedo. 5 seconds on the clock. Pulls up from 3. No. Manzano is there for the rebound, but foul will be called on Medroso, holding down on the left arm of Clint Manzano.
And not only Mandiria or Babacar and Dong, but the local big men of St. Clair trying to crash the offensive glass as well, with Burgos and now Manzano doing some damage.
Here's Drake Acosta. He feels he has the advantage. Mismatch on Hamora. And Acosta, though, loses the ball to the baseline, but they will keep possession. Timeout is called on the floor. It's 19-9 in favor of St. Clair. We'll be back.
Daniel Marcelo feels honored by the trust Coach Andre and his teammates have given him, which has really allowed his leadership to grow even before his NCAA debut. Although he'll be sitting out this year, Daniel says he already feels at home with San Beda, and that's exactly what he was looking for in a team. In fact, he even turned down a few offers because he didn't feel the same sense of belonging. Beyond the chemistry, he loves the energy his teammates bring to the floor, saying that's been the key to their success all series long. And they'll need even more of that energy now as we train here in the first half. Back to you guys.
And thank you for that report, Andre. Of course, a sense of belonging. That is one of the things that being part of a varsity team can give you. And Daniel Marcelo feeling more of that here with the San Beda Red Lions.
That's right. Daniel Marcelo can also find that sense of belonging with Andrea, but that's a story for a different day.
As the ball is turned over by the Red Lions. So ball will go back to the Saints. Chance for them to increase this lead. It now stands at 10 points. Bautista triggering the inbound. Montejo up against Batong Bakal. Manzano up top. They swing it around to Bautista. Coming over is Montejo. Acosta for three. Short. And it will be a foul on Torres. Nothing more he could do there. Tried to box out Mandiri as best he could. But Mandiri is just too long.
That's right. Even though Torres was already pushing him out of the paint, his long arms were still able to tap that ball. And now it's Kevin Peregrina's turn. It's a rotation, a rotating door for the big men of the Red Lions here.
Acosta gets it over to Bautista from the corner. No, rebound going to Sarigumba. Sarigumba is also one of those Red Lions with a nose for the rebound, but he loses it to the sideline. And it will go back to the boys of Caloocan. Turnover. Here, Sarigumba. Will we see a highlight? No. As the putback is there for Medroso. Finally, 2 points for San Beda in this second quarter.
That's right. First time getting into double digits as they force another turnover here.
And that is a hard foul. And MJ Vailoses had to be held back by Sarigumba.
That was a hard foul coming from Bautista, trying to prevent what would have been a highlight dunk for Dom Sarigumba. Our officials immediately trying to control the action here as tempers were almost about to flare up as their officials are about to look at our review here.
Let's take a look at what transpired. Sarigumba had an open lane, but Bautista out of nowhere. And Vailoses finding issue with it. And Mo Mandiria and Sarigumba playing the peacemaker's role.
And what I love that Vailoses stood up for his teammate, even though Sarigumba was okay, and he was the one who was trying to play peacemaker, even though he was the one who got fouled. This is the type of chemistry that you would love to see from a team, especially as they are down and trying to come back into this game. And Vailoses, even though he's only a rookie, already showing a bit of leadership here, standing up for his teammates.
That's a leadership potential that he showed there. And we will see what penalty our referees will hand down after this review. As we take a look at another angle.
I think they're just looking to see if Bautista was going for the ball. Checking different angles, of course, just to make sure.
And Medroso asking for the unsportsmanlike foul. And you can't really see it right now, but Sarigumba asking for a new ball, saying that the ball is a little slippery.
So he will definitely be taking 2
Mhm.
free throws. So we're just waiting on the official call here.
The gravity of the foul that will be called by our referees after the review. What sort of things do referees look for here? Of course, it's not because it's the ball the foul wasn't above the shoulder, so that's out of it. So what it's would it be if there was a wind up? Was he going for the ball? Are those the things that they look for?
Those are two things. Obviously, if a player will be winding up, and that's one of the factors. And I think in this situation, the thing that they're looking for the most would be the intention or what the target of the foul was. If it was just the body of Sarigumba, or if Bautista was actually trying to at least go for a block.
Mm-hmm.
It just looked a bit more violent than usual because of the speed that both Sarigumba and Bautista were going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one of the things that our officials have to make sure of. This could potentially swing the momentum in the Red Lions' favor depending on the call.
And our technical committee making sure that the right call is made.
Our officials taking their sweet time in making sure that the correct call is made. Of course, this is the championship match, a rematch of last conference's finals with the St. Clair Saints and the San Beda Red Lions. Of course, San Beda fielding their Team B, while the St. Clair Saints, well, mostly this is their Team A for their mother league in the Naasku. This is what St. Clair is going to be fielding for the most part. While for the Red Lions, this is strictly their Team B squad, comprised of transferees and some of their reserves and some rookies coming from the Red Cubs program. So definitely an uphill battle going up against a championship team in the St. Clair Saints. And our officials now look to have come up with a conclusion. So let us wait for that announcement as we keep taking a look at what happened there between Sarigumba and Bautista. And there you go.
So according to my inside sources, they were also checking if there was a player from St. Clair who stepped onto the court from the bench.
And that is a definite no-no. As much as you would like to step up and defend your teammates, if there is a scuffle and you're on the bench, well, the smart thing to do would be to stay there if you still want to stay in the game and play.
Let's try and see what the call will be. Let's wait for Gio Cruz to make the official announcement. Okay, so that is the call. Those are the calls. So first, there is a technical foul on MJ Vailoses for second motion. An unsportsmanlike foul on Justin Bautista for excessive, what do you call that? Excessive action? I don't know. And technical foul on JB Lim for entering the court. And JB Lim has been disqualified from this ball game, and he has been asked to leave the playing court.
That's right. JB Lim now went into the showers behind us, and he will have to watch the rest of the game from the bench or from the bleachers if he will be allowed back onto the stands.
Will he be allowed though? Because if he's out of the playing venue,
yes,
shouldn't it be outside of the playing venue?
Right, he might stay in the bathroom
Yeah.
until the game is over. So that is a big development because
Mm-hmm.
he is their starting point guard. With the graduation of Aaron Estacio and Ryan Sewell, he has taken over the starting point guard spot, and he has done a tremendous job of orchestrating this team for at least these past off-season tournaments, speaking about JB Lim. And with his absence from here on out, it will be a big blow, even though they still have Mandiria and Babacar and Dong, and of course their bigs in Manzano, Desabel, and Burgos. That's still the absence of JB Lim could potentially be a game changer here for the Saints.
As Peregrina was fouled on that attack by Jan Salazar, so he's at the line for 2. So this might be what you were saying, the momentum slowly shifting towards the Red Lions side. And it will be a challenge, but Batong Bakal there caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
And not a smart foul for Lawrence Batong Bakal because the Red Lions are already into the penalty. So fouling all the way from the opposite end of the court and in no position to score whatsoever, but yet you send your opponent to the free throw line. So as much as you want to play stingy defense, if you're Batong Bakal, you have to be smart at the same time. And then Denosta hitting his first free throw.
Well, it's Denosta on his jersey, but on our records here, it's Jan Salazar.
Oh, Jan Salazar, correction.
And it's back up to an 8-point lead. Ill-advised pass from Brandroso there. 3-pointer on the way, no good. And Sarigumba with another rebound, but Desabel is there to tip it from behind. But Desabel losing the ball to the baseline.
A good hustle coming from Desabel to poke that ball free. Unfortunately, just slipping on the floor there. So another chance for the Red Lions to cut this lead down.
And Desabel immediately replaced by Burgos and Toktu. We've got Justin Bautista. Sorry, there's a stoppage in play. Yes, there was a substitution. Burgos checked in for Desabel. I think that our referees just needed to clarify that with the table. As Ian Dumancas also checks in for Justin Bautista. Here's Batong Bakal. Gets it across the timeline. Sarigumba sees an open lane, kicks it out. Bailoses. Sarigumba asking for it. Sarigumba gets past Mandiria, but he is thwarted. Asking for a foul there. Here's Acosta. Salazar getting a screen from Mandiria. Kicks it over to the corner. Dumancas. Yes, sir! That forces a timeout from Coach Andre Santos. They're now down by 11. We'll be back. And the St. Clair Saints up by 11 after this corner 3 from Ian Dumancas. A big difference from what happened in their first conference matchup.
And it's the lack of offense for the Red Lions, which has really hurt them here in the first half. Of course, the obvious reasons would be Babacar Endong and Moses Mandiria just manning the paint and making the guards of the Red Lions think twice about their shot selection.
And Mo Mandiria just holding the ball aloft as Sarigumba will be called for the technical after that explosive rejection, letting a bit of emotion escape, but he will be called for the technical there.
Skying high for that block off of 2 feet, no less. That is not an easy thing to do for Dom Sarigumba.
After he was able to control his emotion when he got fouled, that time he probably let it out there. Salazar will hit the technical free throw, increasing that lead to an even dozen, 25-13.
And Daniel Marcelo checking back into this game for MJ Viloses. So we'll see if that extended time on the bench will be to the benefit of Daniel Marcelo, giving him enough rest here.
Sarigumba with a steal. He will challenge the defense of Mandiria but misses, and his outlet pass to Alioso is stolen, and that's Drick Acosta. And it seems that Sarigumba may have re-injured that shoulder.
That's right. Initially, I thought he dislocated his shoulder, but he's able to move it right now, but still in visible pain there. So a short backcourt once again for the Red Lions with Alioso, Hamora, and Daniel Marcelo all on the floor. And Kai Efron, not really a big, more of a wing.
Exactly. We'll see if this gamble will work for them. Efron for 3. Yes, sir!
And he needs to be more assertive on offense and try to draw Mandiria out of the paint with that outside shot. And if he becomes consistent with that, that could be a potential game changer here for the Red Lions.
And that's a steal by Peregrina. Here's Alioso. He's got 2 blue shirts in front of him, so he pulls it back out. Hamora for 3. Back-to-back threes by the Red Lions. Cuts this lead to single digits. 27-19. 3 minutes and change here in the second quarter. And that's Marcelo and Salazar falling on top of each other.
That's right. I think Salazar was called for an offensive foul there. And the momentum slowly swinging the way of the Red Lions, much to the delight of the San Beda faithful on the sidelines as we take a look at that last replay, Salazar and Marcelo.
There was that push off, and as Marcelo was falling, Salazar also fell on top of him.
Officials, and looks as though they got the right call there. Salazar pushing Marcelo, and then to add to that, falling on top of Marcelo. So I think our officials are reviewing that last play. At first, I thought it was just a simple offensive foul on Salazar, but they're checking to see if there's anything more.
And it will be a regular offensive foul on Salazar.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And with the absence of JB Lim now, Coach Gino Manansala trying to dig deeper into his bench of who will bring up that ball, especially once the defensive pressure is there in the backcourt.
He's got on the floor right now Rich Montejo and Ian Dumancas. And as needed, Drick Acosta might also be able to bring it down. Here's Marcelo. He's up against Montejo. And that will be a foul.
And that will be 2 free
It's
throws.
on Babacar and Dong.
And the good read there coming from Daniel Marcelo. He knows that Babacar Endong likes to go for those steals once you come off of a ball screen. Trying to split the screen was Marcelo, as we see here, but getting clipped by the right leg or the right foot of Babacar Endong. 2 free throws coming up for the Filipino-Canadian transferee from CEU, Daniel Marcelo.
First free throw is in. Cutting that lead down to 7. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Too strong on the second. And Ndong controls the rebound. And we've been covering Babacar Ndong for quite a while now, and it's refreshing to see how he remains calm nowadays. Before, he would get flustered whenever he gets fouled hard or gets pushed around, but now he's pretty calm, and that's good to see.
That's right. Being the elder statesman of his team, he is showing the way with his calm demeanor on the floor.
But he will be called for a foul there, pushing off against Peregrina on the rebound.
So that will be 2 more free throws coming up for the Red Lions. And these free throws, they need to hit these to be able to cut this lead down even further, because in the half court, they have had some difficulty scoring the basket. And this is that last play.
There. That was an obvious shove. As Efron gets the first. There's the emotion from Babacar on the bench. 2 for 2 from Kai Efron. Lead is down to 5 from a high of 12. Montejo gets it to Escobedo. Dumancas, no good on the 3. Efron comes out with it. Alioso being harassed by Montejo, just able to get it across the timeline. Zamora asking for the screen. Gets it from Peregrina. Alioso attacks baseline, kicking it out. Marcelo for 3. No, rebound, Montejo. All white in front of him, but he takes it all the way anyway. Missing. Alioso. 2-man game with Peregrina. Gets it over to Zamora. Zamora goes inside. Lead pass is a little too strong. The 3-pointer is in. Daniel Marcelo cutting that lead down to 2.
Daniel Marcelo catching fire here in the second quarter, cutting this lead down to 2. And the offense of San Beda finally opening up here before we end the first half.
Here's Escobedo up against Zamora. Burgos, the layup is up, and he's fouled by Efron.
Good call there from our officials. Efron was a little late on that rotation, and he had no choice but to foul Burgos.
Let's take another look at that corner 3. Daniel Marcelo.
And that was deep in the corner for Marcelo. And just as the shot clock was winding down,
Burgos missing on the first free throw. Daniel Marcelo can string these outside shots together. Let's see if he can get it going. Burgos 1 for 2. 47.4 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Alioso going all the way, kicks it out. Zamora. Back to Alioso. He will fire. No. Rebound going to Montejo. Dumangkas asking for it from the corner. No, Montejo is there for the offensive rebound. He'll pull it out. They will go for the last shot. Montejo gets a screen from Mandiria. Over to the corner, Escobedo. No. Burgos is there for the putback. Still nothing. Mandiria has nothing going for the Saints. But finally a foul is called.
And the offensive rebounding of the St. Clair Saints really working in their favor here, as this undersized lineup of the Red Lions have been having difficulty, of course, trying to box out on Burgos and Mandiria and even some of the guards of St. Clair. Unfortunately, Burgos missing that first free throw.
That is, he also made 1 out of 2 earlier. 4.7 seconds to go in the second quarter. Peregrina, I think he was a little bit disoriented, thought that he was supposed to be on the other side. And 1 out of 2 once again for Burgos. Daniel Marcelo in a rush. That ball is tipped out of bounds. Will stay with the Red Lions. 1.4 seconds to go in the half.
Only a catch and shoot opportunity here for the Red Lions if they're able to get a clean look.
Hamora will shoot it. That's strong. And we end the first half with the St. Clair Saints up by 4, 29-25. We have the move of the half. This is Mo Mandiria getting that bucket and the harm. They're up by 4. We'll be back for the second half. This is the NDSL Basketball Series 2025 second conference. At the half, the score is 29-25 in favor of the St. Clair Saints. And this is a whole lot closer than it was earlier. The Saints had been up by 12 points, but the Red Lions clawed their way back into this ball game. And several Red Lions contributing, but it was Daniel Marcelo with that three-pointer from the corner that pulled the Red Lions back into this ball game. And what other things did you observe from that first half, Kyle?
Well, the defense and rebounding of St. Clair really doing the most damage here in the first half, and they held the Red Lions to 9 points in that first quarter. However, in the second quarter, especially with the disqualification of JB Lim upon entering the court, it changed things up a bit for St. Clair, although the backcourt reserves have done a tremendous job of trying to make up for the absence of JB Lim. The offense of San Beda somehow found a way in that second quarter, especially towards the end of that second quarter, to put points up on the board, and that's what was sorely missing. And it looks like they finally figured out how to negate the presence of Babacar Endong or Mandiria, whoever's on the floor.
As they have 7 seconds on the shot clock, do the Saints. Acosta will have to fire it. No good. But Endong is there reaching for that board. He will take it himself. No, kicking it out. And a 3-second violation. Oh, no, it's a foul. I keep getting these calls wrong.
I believe it was a foul on Kyle Hamora as Acosta was trying to go up for that shot.
And it will be 2 free throws for Drick Acosta. First one is in. One player, well, aside from Daniel Marcelo, not really a lot of the usual standouts for San Beda scoring. Zai Mina, who, as I mentioned earlier, was the best player of that finals game in the first conference, has not yet scored. And MJ Vailoses as well has not gotten his game going here in this game. Meanwhile, for the St. Clair Saints, it has been Mandiria with 5 points leading the way, along with 5 rebounds and 1 block.
And we'll have to see if Mina or Vailoses will be able to get their scoring going here.
As Burgos reaching past Mina to get that ball. Here's Acosta. He attacks. Layup is up. Doesn't go, but there's a foul.
And the offensive rebounding once again hurting the Red Lions, and that's the problem with having an undersized lineup on the floor, as we saw that last basket. Efron taking it straight to Babacar and Dong, and that's what you have to do. You can't avoid the shot blocker. You have to take it straight to their chest. And what I was saying earlier, the offensive rebounding of St. Clair is hurting the Red Lions right now, and the Red Lions just simply have to box out. There's no other strategy to it, but they have to do it early. They can't allow the players of St. Clair to get anywhere close to the paint.
And they will also have to get their offense going from the outside. A lot of it will depend on this guy, Daniel Marcelo, as he gets it to Hawkins, who overcooks that shot. Here's Rich Montejo. Endong asking for it. They swing it around to Acosta. Bautista almost lost the ball to the sideline. They've got 10 seconds on their shot clock. Acosta asking for a screen. He doesn't use it, but the layup is missed. Mina gets it to the corner. They swing it around. Hamora asking for the screen from Hawkins. Hamora back to Mina. He's open for 3. Yes, sir!
Well, if there's any player on this Red Lions roster that you don't want to leave open, that would be Daniel Marcelo at the top of the key. That is way too much space, and he's going to knock it down every time.
Daniel Marcelo, my bad. I thought it was Mina. And here's Babacar Ndong missing on that layup. Ball is tipped out of bounds and will stay with the Saints.
Hawkins could have grabbed that ball with two hands, instead tapping it out. The ball will stay with the Saints as we see this last basket from Daniel Marcelo right at the top of the key. He didn't shoot particularly well in that first quarter, but now it looks as if he's much more comfortable shooting that basket.
Missing there is Burgos. Hamora gets a screen, a bone-crunching screen from Hawkins. They get it to the corner. Efron back to Marcelo. Marcelo will pull the trigger once again and get it.
Showing a lot of confidence right now is Daniel Marcelo. He is never afraid to take those shots, and that's what you have to appreciate about his game. He could have opted to just be a distributor, seeing as he was shooting poorly from the field in the first quarter, but as they say, shooters shoot.
Shooters shoot, and they are now up 33-32.
Oh yes, that's right. The Red Lions do have the lead back.
Whistle is blown. It will stay with the Saints as we take another look at that shot. Daniel Marcelo with the celly.
He was in a bit of a slump earlier, but the only way you get out of a shooting slump is to shoot your way out of that slump.
You have to see it through, as our referees making sure that our players are properly tucked in. Rick Acosta will trigger the inbound. Oh, Salazar fell down. Here's Marcelo, the layup. He misses it, and he may have tweaked something there. Bautista misses on the three. Rebound goes to Sanbeda. Marcelo couldn't hang on to the pass. A little too strong from Hamora, and Marcelo apologizing to the bench.
We all know Daniel Marcelo can dunk that ball. Yes, I've seen him participate in some slam dunk competitions in the previous months, but at that time I think he wasn't sure as soon as he took off if he still wanted to dunk it or not. And I can see the disappointment on Andrea Veloso's face.
As Bautista goes baseline against the defense of Hawkins. And that shot will go. Lead back with the Saints. Vailoses leaves it for Hawkins. The shot is off. Here's Salazar. Pulls up from three. Bounces out off of the back iron. And Hamora calling for calm. Asking for play number 4. Give and go with Hawkins. Hamora shoots from the top of the key. No. Rebound going to Salazar. To the corner. Bautista attacks baseline. Kicking it out. Salazar to Ndong for the layup. That lead is back up to 3, 36-33. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's Marcelo. Pulls up once again, and he gets another one. Daniel Marcelo is hot.
Different kind of hot, according to Andrea, but still shooting hot from the field is Daniel Marcelo. And the San Beda faithful on the sideline are loving what they are seeing. A future King Lion, perhaps, if you could argue that he will be part of the next season's lineup. Not this season, but next season. Speaking about Daniel Marcelo, as we take a look at that last shot, tough basket.
As we turn you over to Andrea Veloso for... Oh, we'll have that later.
We are just teasing our fans here, our listeners.
Oh, so it's just a 2-pointer according to our trusty FD here, Albert. But that one is clearly a 3 from Medrosa. The outside shooting of San Beda is starting to click, and that is a key for them in this ball game. It's their outside offense against the inside presence of St. Clair.
And that's one of the primary weapons that Coach Yuri Escueta and Coach Andre Santos have been trying to teach the San Beda Red Lions, is to use their outside shooting more.
And they get the possession there after that helter-skelter hustle for the ball. Acosta will be called for the foul. Coach Ginino fielding in new players. Escobedo and Ibanez checking in. Now we will turn you over to our courtside reporter, Andrea.
San Beda is definitely paying close attention to the presence of Mandiria and Endong. These two are a big topic in their huddles. Coach Andre's message was to not be intimidated, give more physicality and aggressive, which they're showing right now, and he loves what he's seeing from his players so far. And the reminder is clear, keep building the intensity, confidence, and the momentum, gentlemen.
Thank you for that report, Andrea Veloso. And sorry to get you all flustered earlier. Yes, they will need to address the Mandiria and Endong problem as MJ Vailos is joining in.
It is raining inside the Met Park Sports Center here in Pasay.
It's now a 3-point lead once again for the Red Lions. Escobedo, they rotate it over to the opposite wing. No good on the 3-point shot for Ibanez. Marcelo, he will pull up once again. That's short. Asking for the foul. Well, not really asking for it. Meanwhile, here's Salazar. He will try his hand at it. No good. And Bailoses will slow things down. Calling once again for play number 4 is Alioso. Give and go. And Alioso to the corner. Marcelo for 3. Yes, sir!
Of all the people that you don't want to leave open, knowing that he's on the floor, you have to put a body on him. Might even go as far as to play box and one if you're Coach Gino Manansala. That's how hot Daniel Marcelo has been from three-point land.
And that will be a traveling violation on Babacar Endong.
A terrific job by Kevin Peregrina pulling the chair as Endong was expecting the contact, but Peregrino was no longer there. Forced the traveling violation on St. Clair's big man, and the Tides have turned 44-38. Now a 6-point lead for the Red Lions. They were down by double digits just earlier.
And Coach Giannino changing up his lineup, trying to see if they can address this onslaught by the San Beda Red Lions. Alioso getting a screen from Peregrina. Give and go of the, that's pick and roll, but no good. Blocked by Mandiria. Montejo over to Burgos. The layup is up and in.
A good defense there coming from Mandiria. Peregrina thought he was wide open for that layup, but those long arms just simply negating that shot.
Here's Marcelo once again. He has the hot hand. Has to give it up to Bailoses. Bailoses picking up. That is off of him and will go back to the Saints.
Dom Saragumba now checking back in for Daniel Marcelo after injuring his shoulder earlier. Now getting that right shoulder wrapped up, so hopefully he'll be good to go for the rest of this game.
They are still up by 4 here. Last minute of the third quarter. Montejo gives it up to Burgos. They're looking to free up. That is a 3 from Angelo Ibanez. But Ibanez immediately giving up a foul, saying he just had his arms wide open.
Only the third team foul for the Saints. 3 team fouls for the Red Lions as well. That was a big three-pointer to at least slow down the momentum of San Beda.
Now the Red Lions will need to look for who can provide the offense that now that Marcelo has sat down.
Oh yes, much deserved break for Marcelo, but you're right, who will pick up the scoring here for at least the remainder of this third quarter?
Burgos over to the corner, Escobedo. Back to Burgos, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Up and under, no. Rebound goes back to Ibanez, rattles out, and underneath a foul is called. It will be on Mo Mandiria over the back.
On the back of Peregrina, who was holding the back of his head there, but looks to be okay.
And our referees will check to see the severity of the foul. Let's take another look here. Oh, there was a shove. It's just a regular foul.
Nothing dirty there on the part of Mandiria. Just happened to be an offensive foul. So still 5.3 seconds on the clock for the Red Lions. No fouls to give now for St. Clair.
5.3 seconds to go in the quarter. The slimmest of leads for the Red Lions. Here's Sarigumba going downhill. Sarigumba for the layup. No! And we end the third quarter with the Red Lions retaking the lead 44-43. We'll be back for the fourth quarter. And we're still here at the Met Park Sports Center taking a look at some of the fans. And we've got there our head of production, of course, Mr. Norioy, alongside our Commissioner Joel Ngo, and one of our talents, none other than Sandy Grumo. They're here to enjoy this last game of the Ndsl Basketball Series second conference. So we take a look at some highlights. Daniel Marcelo catching fire in that third quarter. I believe he had 4 from the outside there. One was adjudged a 2-pointer with his toe on the line. But still, he led the charge for this Red Lions to get back in this game and take the lead.
Almost all of the highlights from the Red Lions in that third quarter was courtesy of Daniel Marcelo. Simply electric shooting from the field there to bring his team back.
And as we start this fourth quarter, they are up 44-43. A much different ball game compared to their first conference matchup. Alioso will start at the point guard for the Red Lions. Here's Vailoses. Goes inside. That shot is wild and out, and it will go back to the Saints.
I think Coach Andre Santos is asking for an official review of that last play. He believes that shot was blocked by Moses Mandiria.
So we will check it. As Coach Andre uses this time to map out what could probably be their defense. Let's take a look at that. This is the challenge, the official replay, the official review.
Well, the ball did slip out of Vailos's hands, but even from that angle, I'm not sure if the ball grazed the fingertips of Mandiria. I'm sure the referees will have to take another look at the trajectory of the ball if it changed direction at all. Wouldn't be surprised if the initial call sticks with the ball going back to St. Clair. A good job by Moses Mandiria to just keep his hands extended, and that was enough for Vailosas to be distracted, and the initial call will stay. Ball will go to St. Clair.
And we go back to what you were saying, the intimidation factor of Mandiria. Earlier it was Endong, but in that play it was Mandiria doing just enough.
That's right. Moses Mandiria wasn't even actively trying to go for that block, just had his hands up, and Vailosas just lost the ball there.
Chance for the Saints to retake the lead. Montejo to Burgos. Screen given by Montejo. Escobedo popping out on the wing. 3 by Ibanez is in once again.
Big shot coming from Ibanez right in the face of Dom Sarigumba.
Magic bunot for Coach Ginino Manansala, as that is an offensive foul called on Peregrina. That's Angelo Ibanez did not play a minute in the first half. Let's take another look at that offensive foul. So it is now a 2-point lead for the Saints. Montejo setting up the play. Escobedo. Ibanez is free once again. Misses this time. Rebound goes to Burgos. Burgos missing. And the putback slam! Plus the foul from Moses Mandiria.
And I think that foul will be called on Kevin Peregrina once again, as Lawrence Hawkins is set to check back into this game for Peregrina.
Flying in with a parachute, Mo Mandiria.
And that's why you have to box out. Peregrina was caught ball watching in that instance, instead of just putting a body on Mandiria, who you allowed to simply jog to the paint for that putback slam.
But he misses on the bonus free throw though. That lead is still at 4. Sarigumba handing it off to Hamora. Here's the screen from Hawkins. Hamora, the layup is up and in.
Good read there by Kyle Hamora, realizing that Hawkins was able to do a Gortat screen on Moses Mandiria, which negated his shot blocking ability.
And here's Montejo. They swing it over to the corner. Ibanez. He is now a marked man. Escobedo, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Escobedo forces it up. No.
That's good defense there coming from Kyle Hamora, just challenging that shot without fouling.
Alioso thought about the 3, gives it up. Hamora bounces out. Mandiria holds it high aloft, and he might have been swiped in the face.
Might have been poked in the eye, or I can't quite see if there's a cut on his face.
And he's clutching on to his right eye. The medic, the EMT here in the Met Park Sports Center, checking him out. Let's see what happened there. So he was holding the ball up. Oh.
I think that would be the elbow of Lawrence Hawkins, grazing the face of Moses Mandiria. I think there's no blood, which is a good sign.
That's true. And he is back in their bench. as the referees continue to review what happened. They are up by 2, 48-46. 7 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. I think you're right, Kyle. Inadvertent. Lawrence Hawkins just couldn't reach the ball because Marinero had it high above his head.
Oh, that's right. If that was me, I would have only been hitting his stomach. And that's how tall Moses Mandiria is. And with those long arms of his, it's really difficult to reach. It reminds me of that Boban Marjanovic and Anthony Davis scene where he had the ball stretched over his head. But it looks like a regular foul only on Lawrence Hawkins. That might be his fourth foul already.
So they will keep, Coach Andre will keep Lawrence Hawkins in the game for better or for worse. Daniel Marcelo has also checked back into the game here. Acosta against Sarigumba. Montejo goes up for 3. No. And they run out of clock. Ball will go back to the Red Lions. Chance for them to knot things up or take the lead with a 3. Here's Hamora over to Marcelo, getting a screen, but the hedge is there from Endong. Efron with a jumper is good.
A good decision to take that shot. He saw that he was open. An unselfish play coming from Daniel Marcelo. He knows that he's a marked man now, so he can play decoy on offense here, which would free up some of his teammates for open looks like what Efron just had.
Here's Endong over to Acosta, getting a screen from Burgos to the corner. Montejo overshoots the 3. And that is another 24-second shot clock violation.
2 consecutive possessions now wherein the Saints were unable to attempt a shot within 24 seconds. So the defense of San Beda tightening up. And as they say, it's winning time here in the fourth quarter.
6 minutes and 38 seconds to go. It is all tied up at 48. Efron gets it over to Sarigumba, attacking left, kicking it out. Hamora, step back 3. No. Rebound goes to Salazar. Salazar calling out the play. Gives it up to Endong. Acosta trying to get away from Marcelo. Ball is stripped. Here's Sarigumba. He can go up for the slam!
And that is the Dom Sarigumba signature. Even with Babacar Endong right behind him, Babacar Endong could have opted to go for a chase down block, but Sarigumba showing no fear whatsoever. And that's the type of decisiveness and assertiveness that you have to show against a shot blocker like Endong.
And he comes up with a highlight there, giving them a 2-point lead here with 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Almost lost the ball. And that's Acosta with a jumper. Marcelo is down. Is this cramps? It might be cramps. Sarigumba and Hamora checking in on him. And once again, our ever attentive EMTs coming in to check on a player. Marcelo able to stand back up, but again, because play was stopped. Oh, he just tweaked his right ankle.
Okay, good to see that it's nothing serious there for Daniel Marcelo.
Alioso. Efron is now at the wing. Hamora looking for options, gets it to Sarigumba, back to Hamora. Hamora attacks and fishes the foul. It will be on the floor though.
And it looks like it will be just a sideline inbound here for the Red Lions.
Here's Alioso up top. Gets a screen from Hawkins. Sarigumba is free from the wing. Sarigumba attacks. Sarigumba, the layup is up and in. Off the top of the board and dropping right in.
And sometimes you're good, sometimes you're lucky, but it's better to be both. That time, Dom Sarigumba just getting the friendliest of bounces.
And here's Salazar giving it up to Acosta. Bautista up top getting a screen. And that pass tipped off by Sarigumba, but Endong finds a way to get the layup.
Good body control there by Babacar Endong. Almost lost his footing, but was able to gather himself to finish off that layup.
Here are the Red Lions. Alioso over to Sarigumba. Hawkins asking for it inside. Sarigumba attacks. Is double teamed and it will be a foul.
And Coach Gino Manantala arguing that the foul should be on the floor, but I think the referees will give 2 free throws to Dominic Sarigumba, which I think is a good call because Sarigumba had nowhere else to go but to attempt a shot in that situation. And yes, that's right, it will be 2 free throws as our mop man will try to dry up that wet spot before we resume play.
The foul was called on Justin Bautista. And let's take another look at the slam earlier from Dom Sarigumba using his speed. And this was the layup.
And he attacks the basket similar to Russell Westbrook with no fear whatsoever, and he has an aggression to him when he attacks the basket, especially when he dunks that ball. There's really some power behind those dunks.
Precisely, and it will be exciting to see that same kind of play when he gets the opportunity to do so in future games. We've been seeing it a lot here in the NDSL. It's exciting to know that that might happen more often, as a 3 coming from Drake Acosta, giving back St. Clair the lead, 55-53. Hamora, the fadeaway jumper bounces out, rebound goes to Bautista, beating out Hawkins for that board. Daniel Marcelo waiting to check back into the game. Babacar Endong up against Hawkins, spins and runs into Efron, who forces the jump ball, but it will stay with the Saints as a timeout is called on the floor. The score is 55-53, 2-point lead after this triple from Drake Acosta for the St. Clair Saints. We'll be back. As we take a look at our official ball of the National Developmental Sports League Basketball Series, Spalding. And of course, we would also like to thank our other sponsors, Finn Cotton, Don Benitos, and we've also got Fresh Kicks, Diag Movement, and Basketball Republic, our official media partner and our official broadcast partner, Nudge Plus. Drick Acosta missing from the corner. Rebound goes out of bounds. And officials say that it will go back to the Red Lions.
And Dong asking for a review there, but Coach Gino already used up his coach's challenge earlier, which was unsuccessful, and we are not under 2 minutes.
So the Red Lions have a chance to tie things back up here, as it's a double foul on Hawkins and Ndong. Ndong still has some words for Hawkins.
And it might be
And yeah, it's the
fifth foul of Lawrence Hawkins. And the supporters and some of the coaching staff of San Beda asking if that shot should count, but I think the double foul occurred first. And the Hawkins were battling for position there.
Oh, it's just 4 on Lawrence Hawkins.
Oh, that's a good sign for him. Well, yes, I guess we lost count, but 4 fouls it is for Lawrence Hawkins as Coach Andre Santos calls a timeout.
They are down by 2 with 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be back. The San Beda Red Lions, they're currently down by 2, 55 to 53, 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Joe Percon and Kyle Sanchez on the call with Andrea Veloso on the sidelines, bringing you this final game of the second conference of the NDSL Basketball Series 2025.
Indeed, we are in for another cardiac finish here, as we had earlier in the 19 and under division. Now here for our seniors division, 2-point deficit separating these teams.
Nonetheless, we're sure that there will be a lot of action, as a technical foul is called on Daniel Marcelo for faking that foul there. Let's take another look at that. And he was trying to sell a foul call on Drick Acosta. As Salazar will now shoot the technical free throw, increasing that lead to 3, 56 to 53. As the rains have started pouring here in Pasay. Our referees giving additional words to Drick Acosta and Daniel Marcelo. Alioso barely getting that ball inbound as Hawkins hits from the free throw line.
That's a big shot, not his usual shot attempt. Lawrence Hawkins asking for that ball, really showing a lot of confidence in that mid-range jumper there.
Bautista, they give it inside to Indong. Indong triple teamed. They swing it out. Here's Acosta, the jumper is up, no, but Burgos is there for the offensive rebound. Acosta will try once again, this time from three, still nothing. Sarigumba skying for that board. Last 2 minutes of this 25 and under finals game. Marcelo will attack. Marcelo, the shot is up and in, plus the foul. Daniel Marcelo with a beautiful shot.
What a shot there coming from Marcelo. I thought he was going to pass it off to a shooter in the corner as Babacar Endong was trying to go up for that block, but at the very last second, once he heard that whistle, he just simply kissed it off the glass.
Getting the basket. All smiles for Daniel Marcelo.
With the left hand, no less, and showing us what the future could look like for the San Beda Red Lions program. Daniel Marcelo trying to put his team on his shoulders, at least offensively, scoring majority of the points here for San Beda, and another one coming up with this bonus free throw.
He now has 21 points. As a timeout is called on the floor, it is a 2-point lead for the San Beda Red Lions. We'll be back. And the San Beda Red Lions enjoying a 2-point lead at the moment, 58-56. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. This is do or die. It's winning time for either team. We're here at the Met Park Sports Center.
The San Beda faithful screaming defense here as they are 2 points ahead against the St. Clair Saints. Both teams now in the penalty.
Here's Salazar with the ball. He will pull up for the jumper. Bounces out. Rebound going to Dom Sarigumba.
And that is a sorry miss. In and out for Salazar. Could have gone in, but the ball goes to San Beda, a chance to extend this lead.
Hamora getting a screen. Gets it over to Marcelo for the jumper. No. And Hawkins tips it out, but it ends up in the hands of Acosta. Here is Salazar once again. Over to the corner. Ibanez missing. Ball will stay with the Saints.
And I think we are going to have a review of that last play on the floor. It looked as if Lawrence Hawkins was the last one to touch that ball on its way out.
This is the review that we have here. And it will stay with the Saints. Less than a minute to go here in the fourth quarter. The Red Lions are up by 2. Ibanez getting a screen from Mandira. He will pull up from 3. No! Rebound, Sarigumba.
You have to admire the confidence of Ibanez to take that shot. But unfortunately, just doesn't go down.
Here's Hamora looking for options. Takes the shot himself. No good. Mandiria gets it. Salazar attacking the defense of Marcelo. Spins. Kicks it out to Burgos. Burgos back to Salazar at the corner. Ibanez is open from 3. Oh! No call there. That's Salazar with a jumper, and it's in.
And it looks like it's going to be last shot coming up for the Red Lions. Coach Andre opting not to take a timeout with 16 seconds remaining, and who else has the ball in his hands? No one else but Daniel Marcelo.
Asking his teammates for isolation. Marcelo, the jumper is up and in! Daniel Marcelo is him!
Telling the San Beda faithful on the sideline, I'm that guy. And for this game and for the entire season, he has been that guy for the Red Lions. Not afraid at all to take and make those big shots, losing that ball, almost a turnover, but still finding a way to gather himself, keep his balance, and knock down that long 2-pointer.
And we'll take a timeout with 3.2 seconds left in regulation. The score is 60-58 in favor of the Red Lions. Daniel Marcelo coming up big for this big game.
For the Red Lions in this final possession, or what could be the final possession of the game, they can't afford to give up any 3-pointers.
As Coach Andre Santos, seeing the formation of St. Clair, will call a timeout of his own, probably to try and remind his players of some additional pointers. We'll be back after this break. .2 seconds to go in regulation. It's a 2-point lead for the San Beda Red Lions off of that miraculous jumper by Daniel Marcelo.
And they can't give up any 3-pointers here. If I were Coach Andre, I would live with St. Clair attempting a 2-point shot, of course, as long as you don't foul on the shot. But of course, I would rather have almost all my players out or near the perimeter to challenge any potential 3-pointers. I feel like Coach Gino wants to go for that knockout blow.
Salazar will inbound, gets it to Burgos for 3! Yes! And Burgos with a triple! Charles Burgos coming up clutch. As we will now have a review. Let's take another look at that. Burgos left wide open up top.
And
Salazar.
that's right. I'm not sure if they all switched on their rotations, but Kyle Hamora ended up having to challenge that shot. Might have been a miscommunication on the part of the defense of San Beda there.
And it is a 1-point lead for the St. Clair Saints. Time being added back to the clock. It's now 1.1. And we will see Charles Burgos with a clutch triple from up top.
And just as we were saying earlier, the last shot you want to give up is a three-pointer. I felt like that should have been obvious on the part of the defense there. That would be common sense to just have everyone out on the perimeter challenge potential three-pointers and just give up the two-pointer. But instead, it looks like the Red Lions will have to come up with nothing short of a miracle here with 1.1 seconds remaining.
And Hamora will trigger the inbound with the gigantic Moses Mandiria bothering him. Here's Arigumba with a slam! What a play! What a play!
And that is to cap off the season. What a season the Red Lions have had. Dominic Sarigumba finishing it off with a two-handed alley-oop from the sideline. Kind of reminds me of that inbound pass with Jason Kidd and Yao Ming. And somehow Jason Kidd was able to get that pass off. Credit Kyle Hamora for finding and having the guts to give it up to Dom Sarigumba.
And there was also the decoy, Daniel Marcelo, with the initial cut to the basket, drawing some of the blue shirts with him, and that gave Dominic Sarigumba the open lane.
And of course, Daniel Marcelo was the first option on offense. That much was obvious. But Dominic Sarigumba, who injured his right shoulder earlier, as you see it being wrapped up. Of course, we're just taking a look if that shot will count. And yes, it will count, and it looks like the San Beda Red Lions.
It will count, but we will see if
there's some
there
time
was
left
still
on the
time
clock.
left on the
I
clock.
think that's what Coach Gino, but it doesn't look like Coach Gino is going to argue that anymore as he waves it off. And that will give the Red Lions back-to-back championships in the NDSL.
Congratulations to the San Beda Red Lions Marinero for winning their second championship here in the NDSL. We have had a couple of great games to cap off this second conference, Kyle.
All two games today have been nothing short of amazing. Nothing else to describe it, and this is the play of the season. No doubt about it. Yes, Kyle Hamora connecting with Dominic Sarigumba. Two-handed finish showing off the athleticism with 1.1 seconds remaining, finishing this season off with another championship for Team B of the San Beda Red Lions, and the future is looking as bright as ever for the program of San Beda. Coach Yuri Escueta and Coach Andre Santos, Coach Alex Hangiles, and everyone else on their coaching staff. Well-deserved victory and nothing to be ashamed of for the St. Clair Saints, missing the services of JB Lim, putting up a valiant effort, and of course one of the favorites as well this season to win it all, but ultimately San Beda taking this one.
but leading the way for the San Beda Red Lions throughout this entire tournament. He has been the streaky shooter, but for this ball game, he has been clutch. And it's none other than Daniel Marcelo. He is our player of the ball game, and he is with Andrea Veloso.
Thank you, Joel. Our best player of the game, none other than Daniel Marcelo of San Beda. Congratulations, Daniel. You know, during the first quarter, your shots were not falling in, but after some time on the bench, you eventually got your flow. Talk about getting into that zone.
It's just all about just running through the offense of the team. I know my guys here, they trust me to take shots and make them. And, you know, it's just all about trust and composure and being able to execute as a team.
Daniel, back-to-back championship here in the Ndsl conference. What makes this team so special?
What makes this team special is just the bond that we have on the court and off the court. And since I was there last year, it's good to, you know, win this one, go back-to-back with my team this year.
Daniel, congratulations. I know you have a lot of shout-outs.
Yeah, first off, shout out to my mom, shout out to the rest of the San Beda community, and shout out to my boys all up in here.
Congratulations, Daniel, and of course to the San Beda. Back to you, Joel.
And congratulations, Daniel Marcelo and the San Beda Red Lions. He wasn't here when they won in the previous conference, but he showed why he is very important for the San Beda team.
Yes, he went back home to Canada in last season's championship match between St. Clair and San Beda, but now making up for that absence, really pouring it on, especially in that second half, showing us why he is one of the future key players of the San Beda Red Lions program, Daniel Marcelo.
The future is bright red for San Beda, and we will take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the awarding ceremonies for this second Conference 25 Under Ndsl Basketball Series. We'll be back.
23, Drake Acosta. 24, Stephen Hartinico. 25, Angelo Ibanez. 25, Sean Bodo. 31, Leonard Ndsl. 57, Babakar Antong. 75, Ian Dumancas. And number 0, Justin Bautista. The trophy will be awarded by Natch Productions Managing Director, Sir Nori Oy, and our Ndsl Basketball Series Second Conference Commissioner.
As you have here, nothing to be ashamed of, these St. Clair Saints. Second place here in the second conference for the NDSL Basketball Series. As Babakar and Dong, they led the team to a 2-2 slate in the eliminations, and will bow out for the second time here in the finals to the San Beda Red Lions. Have the San Beda Red Lions, of course, being awarded the trophy by none other than the managing director of Nudge Productions, Nori Uy, and accompanied by Commissioner Joel Ngo.
35, Rondale Medroso. 36, Lawrence Hawkins. 44, Lawrence Bagong. 45, Guy Efron. 77, Ante Odioso. And of course,
they are the NDSL Second Conference champions. They went through the eliminations. They went through this entire tournament without a loss. A complete sweep 7-0 for this second conference of the NDSL. And now awarding the tournament MVP. And the second conference MVP, Dom Sarigumba. He has delighted fans with his thunderous slams. And what better way to cap off this second conference than with a slam dunk to win the championship trophy for the San Beda Red Lions. Congratulations to the Red Lions and the Red Lions community who are here to support the players. And Dominic Sarigumba with that game-winning slam.
And I'm still speechless about that last play with Hamora to Sarigumba. That connection is gonna live on in the memory of a lot of San Beda supporters for the near future.
And Dom Sarigumba is right now with Andrea. Andrea, take it away.
Thank you, Joel. A winning shot from Dom Sarigumba. And Dom, that play was kind of risky, but what was running into your mind during that game?
Well, there was 1.1 seconds left on the clock, so I knew that's plenty of time to get a good quality shot up. Shout out to Kyle, number 4. That was a perfect pass for me to just dunk it right there. So, I'm just shout out to Kyle.
Dom, I'm going to ask the same question I asked Daniel a while ago. What makes this team so special?
I think we just all play together as a team. I mean, on the court, off the court, we're buddies. And so it's like going to war with your buddies. You're going to fight for them to the end.
Very well said. Dom, I know you have a lot of shout-outs. This is your chance.
First of all, shout out to my family. It's, I don't know, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. for you. So I appreciate you guys for supporting me.
Thank you for giving us an entertaining ball game and congratulations. Dom Sarigumba of San Beda. Back to you, Joel.
Thank you, Andrea. And Kyle, of course, is here with me. Congratulations once again to Dom Sarigumba and the San Beda Red Lions. So on behalf of my partner, Kyle Sanchez, our courtside reporter, Andrea Veloso, the hardworking men and women of Nudge Productions and Ndsl. This has been Joel Parcon. We hope to see you in the future games. This is the National Developmental Sports League Basketball Series, ang liga ng atletang Pilipino. Ayo-ayo mong tanan mga bay!